to the Instagram stories for Monday, November 25th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today on the show, we're going to get into what the head of Instagram shared on his Ask Me Anything. And we're going to answer questions like, do you see a spike or drop in posting around the holidays? If you post a reel to your stories, does it lower its reach? We'll also get into questions like, does boosting content reduce its organic reach? And does it hurt your reach to tag other creators in your reel? We'll also get into some Instagram news, including some updates for the DM inbox. All of that and more when we come back. Welcome back. Let's get into some Instagram news and starting with some updates around the DM inbox. Instagram has announced that there are 17 new sticker packs and over 300 new stickers to share inside your DMs. Plus, you will now be able to favorite a sticker from your chat so that you can reuse stickers shared by your friends or those that you've created with cutouts. Instagram has also announced the ability to customize names across DMs by adding a nickname for yourself or your friends. You can tap on the chat name at the top of the conversation, then tap on nicknames and the username of the person you want to add a nickname for in the chat. So if you wanted to rename your best friend to Queen, as shown in the example screenshot, you can do that. And most interestingly, now in the DM box, you can share your live location for up to 1 hour or pin a spot on a map to coordinate arrival times, activities, or find each other in crowded spaces, which is a great idea if you're going to a concert or some other gathering where there's going to be a lot of people and you need to meet in a precise location. You can spend more time actually interacting and less time back and forth coordinating. I absolutely love this idea. If you've ever made plans to meet for hiking at a specific spot, or you are going to be meeting after a concert at a specific meetup spot, sharing your exact location can be challenging across different messaging apps. iMessage has one kind of location sharing, but that may or may not work with your friends who are on Android using Google Messages. I like that the ability to do all of this can be inside Instagram DMs. It lends itself more to event planning, and I'm absolutely here for it. I will link to all the information about this, including screenshots, in the show notes, so if you want to see more information, you know where to find it. Okay, now let's dive into the questions that the head of Instagram answered on his Ask Me Anything, and I'm going to try to group all the questions, so all the ones that have to do with reach we'll talk about at once. First, why do some posts get more reach and some don't?
Because best we can tell, some of your posts are more engaging for your followers and even non-followers, and some of your posts are less engaging. What we look at is the percentage of people who are interacting with that post in those first few hours. So of all the people who saw it, how many sent it to a friend, how many liked it? And generally, if it's doing well, if that number is higher, we're going to show it to more and more people over time. And if not, then it's going to be shown to less people overall. And that's to try and make the most of everyone's time. I know ranking is contentious, but there's way more content on Instagram than anyone has time to consume. And so by ranking, what we do is we make the experience more compelling, people use it for more, and the amount of reach to go around goes up overall, but it does come at a cost. The system is more complicated and harder to predict. But that's why some of your posts are going to do better and some less well.
Even though I don't love that that's how Instagram works, Adam's answer is a very concise way to understand the Instagram algorithm. If you are new to Instagram or you're new to listening to this podcast and you wanted to understand more about the Instagram algorithm, his 52-second answer that he just gave is a great entry level into understanding what you need to know. Okay, let's go on to the next reach question. What are the best times to post to get more reach? Here's Adam's answer.
When you post doesn't actually have too much of an effect on your reach, but if you want to try and really squeeze out every last bit of reach, I would take a look at your insights and see when all of your followers are online. You can actually see what time of day they're online the most, or the most of them. And I'd post right before whatever your peak looks like. So for me, I see that at least in California time, my followership peaks around 6 or 9 a.m. So I try to post around 6 a.m. so I get there before all those followers come online.
That makes sense. If you schedule your post for 2 or 3 a.m. and none of your followers are online at that time, it's not going to help you at all. So it does make sense to post right before your followers come online. Okay, let's keep going with the reach questions. If you post a reel to your stories, does it lower reach? I wouldn't think so. I'm not sure why this person would think that that would be the case.
No, posting a reel to your stories should not affect your reach. If you're asking about the reels reach, it should obviously increase a little bit because it's hopefully reaching more people. And if you're asking about your stories reach, it should be ranked like any other story. The question is, are people going to be interested in seeing it? Are they going to tap on it, interact with it, like it as much as they might tap, interact, or like a normal story of yours?
I will continue to say that posting your reels to your stories is the best way to ensure that as many of your followers as possible see that reel. I don't like that system. That's just the system that Instagram currently functions in. Next question. Does boosting content reduce the organic reach? This person is referring to paying for Instagram to promote their post as an ad and asking whether or not that would affect the organic reach that they would get without paying.
No, boosting content will not affect your organic reach. Boosting content just means essentially buying an ad. That ad, it helps you reach people who do not follow you. It will not affect how your content, your reel, your photo, your carousel is ranked outside of ads.
Okay, and the last reach question we're going to talk about today. Does it hurt your reach to tag other creators in your reel? Here's Adam's answer.
No, it will not hurt your reach to tag other creators in the reel. It could help a little bit, particularly if it's going to show up on their tag part of their profile, their tag tab. They may or may not have approvals on, but honestly, that's just on the margins, but it will not hurt your reach.
Really quick, when he uses the phrase on the margins, what he means is it's going to have a very incremental, very, very small effect on what you do. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to answer the questions, what matters more if I want to grow on Instagram, quality or quantity? What should I do if my account has been banned and I can't find a direct link to appeal? And how often should I be resetting my recommendations? For all the answers to those questions, stick around. Welcome back. We're continuing with the questions and answers from the head of Instagram. Let's move on to the next question. What matters more if I want to grow on Instagram, quality or quantity? The answer is going to be a combination of both, but I would lean more on the quality side than the quantity side.
They both matter. Now, I want to be clear. I wouldn't post so much that the quality really goes down or that you get stressed out or you get burnt out. That's not going to work out in the long run, so don't do that. But in general, more posting does help, for better or for worse. So I think it's good to try and post as much as you can while maintaining the quality bar that you're proud of and your own sort of peace of mind, right? Like not burning out. You can't push so hard that you can't keep it up and it's no longer fun to do the work. So that's a balance and it's different for everyone. For me, I try to do 2 or 3 things a week in feed and stories whenever I have something to share. But for someone else, it might be once a week, once a month, or maybe 5 things a day.
Let's go on to the next question, which has to do with resetting your recommendations. Instagram announced that they will soon be rolling out the ability for you to reset your recommendations on the Instagram app across Feed and Explore. This is something that TikTok has had for a while, so it's nice to see Instagram catching up. The question, how often should we be resetting our recommendations? I would say as often as you feel that Instagram is not showing you the content that you want to see.
So for those of you who don't know, we launched an ability to completely reset your recommendations on Instagram. So we will go back to square one as if we don't know anything about you and try to learn your interests again. This is not something I recommend most people doing ever. But if you end up in a place where you really are just getting recommendations you are not interested in at all, you've gone down some sort of path that you just want to completely get out of, it's kind of a bit of a nuclear option just to reset everything entirely. And I think it's important that that exists in case you get into that situation, but it's not something you should be doing on a regular basis. It's not even something that most people should ever do.
The next question has to do with carousels, which are sometimes called photo dumps on Instagram. The question, what's the best number of photos to include in a carousel? Does it matter? I'll let Adam answer that question, but I want to remind you that if you include music, it may be shown as a reel, and that would be an added benefit to you. Also, Adam will explain that carousels are shown multiple times to people, which is an advantage as well.
Honestly, it doesn't matter very much. As long as you have at least 2, which you need to be a carousel, you're going to get 2 shots in feed. So we will show your carousel to someone. We might even show it to them a second time, scrolled over automatically to the second post if they didn't swipe themselves. But there isn't a big difference if you go from 3 to 10 to 15 to 20.
The next question is very telling. Do you see a spike in posting or a drop in posting around the holidays? You might think that there would be a drop in posting because people who do it for their business might be on vacation. But you would also think that there would be an increase because people who do it on a personal level are now not working and therefore going to be posting more content on Instagram. Here's Adam's answer.
Big spikes in posting around the holidays, particularly, Christmas holiday or Mother's Day and Father's Day. Massive spike, not just in posting, but particularly in messaging around New Year's Eve. So know if you're a creator out there and you're posting on any of those major holidays or any major holiday in your country, you might get a little bit less reach than normal because there's a lot more competition. That might not be the case because sometimes more people just use the platform on those holidays, but that is often what we see.
Okay, the last question we're going to talk about today is around threads. Can I only see 5 trends in threads? Is there a reason? Here's Adam's answer.
We're actually starting to test showing more than 5 trending topics on threads and actually using AI or Meta AI to summarize those trends. So you can get to all the content, but you can get a little bit of a description about what's going on. So if that works out well, hopefully we can fast follow or ship that in the next week or two.
Okay, that's it for Adam's Q&A. Now let's talk about the show. In December, typically it is slow between Christmas and New Year's. Not a lot happens that's newsworthy, and it can be quite a challenge to create content during that time. During this time, I would like to create some episodes where you, as the listener, contribute to the show, and I would like the answers to one or more of the following questions. First, what's your favorite Instagram feature in 2024? Second, what was your favorite TikTok or Reel trend from 2024? And what are your predictions for social in 2025? If you want to record audio and send it to me, the audio would be something like, "Hi, I'm Daniel from New Jersey. I've been listening to the Instagram stories for 5 years, and my favorite Instagram feature to use in 2024 was," and then you say what it is. Feel free to plug your handle at the end. If you would like a written out script, you can find it in the show notes where I am including it. But if you send me a DM at Daniel Hill Media, I will be glad to send you the script directly inside your DMs to make it easier for everyone. As always, thank you for listening, and be sure to come back next time for more social media news, strategy, and other things that you absolutely need to know.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager, but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually, that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work, without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish, unless it's shrimp or clam. No 6-pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.